Have you ever given someone a compliment on a job done poorly, just to avoid hurting their feelings? In the episode The Pickle Story, Aunt Bee is busy making pickles for the county fair. She's lost to her friend Clara Johnson 11 years in a row. She's like the Buffalo Bills of pickles. They're so bad that when a fly lands on one of her pickles, it dies. Nonetheless, when she brings in a batch to the courthouse, Andy and Barney choke them down and tell her they taste great. When she leaves, they spit them out in the garbage can. Barney says, "Well, those are kerosene cucumbers." The fellas know Aunt Bee prides herself on her cooking, so they just tell her what she wants to hear. They don't want to hurt her feelings, and it seems pretty harmless. But even Aunt Bee's a little suspicious about these pickles. She ends up believing them, and when she leaves, the boys go to the store and buy nice pickles, tasty pickles to put in those jars. So when she comes back by again, they can actually stomach the food. Well, Bee does come back, and when she sees them eating the pickles, she decides she wants to enter these things in the fair after all. Now, the fellas decide they have to eat all the store-bought pickles and get those out of the jars, so she has to make a batch from scratch. After all, it wouldn't be right to let her enter store-bought pickles into the county fair. Well, have you ever given somebody what seemed to be a harmless compliment, but it wasn't the truth? Why weren't you just honest and use constructive criticism instead? When I was a kid, I used to help my dad out on the tobacco farm. And one particularly dry and dusty July, we needed to set up the irrigation system to keep the crop from just withering away in the heat. The system used a pump to fill the pipes with water from the pond, and these huge water guns, bigger than me, would shoot the water out across the field. My dad left to set up the pump. I was to drag the water guns and put them into place. Well, I set them up. My dad returned. He looked them over and kind of shook his head, but he fired up the pump anyway. He let me see that the water was being sprayed down the tree line before hitting the tobacco crop and then rotating back down the tree line. My dad turned off the pump, came over and said, "Boy, you were close, but it just wasn't quite right. You're just watering the weeds." Then he helped me reposition the water guns so they only hit the crop. Now, he could have said, "Good job, buddy," and let the guns water the weeds and the field, but that would have soaked the fence line and dirt road so much that we probably would have got stuck in the mud when we tried to leave. Instead, he said, "You were close," and we fixed it together. If we dish out compliments based solely on effort but not on results, we're setting ourselves and others up for failure. Instead, praise the effort and address the execution. The resulting positive sense of accomplishment is itself a great motivator for a lot of people, and you'll be modeling to others how to lead other people. It all works in conjunction together. So what happened with Aunt Bee's pickles? She entered them in the contest and lost again to Clara. It was defeating, but it was an honest loss. Maybe she needs to take a break from the pickle making. Breaks can be good. Have you ever needed a break, maybe even a vacation, and didn't take it? We'll talk about that in the next video. Until then, encourage others, but be honest. Praise the efforts and grade and help the execution. Whatever you do, don't make a kerosene cucumber so bad that it kills a fly. That's just wrong. Alrighty then.